Okay, picture this. You're right there, on the edge of a huge new adventure, a life-changing chapter just about to start. For those of you listening, our amazing international students heading off to the UK, well, that moment is right now. Getting here, all that hard work, it's honestly a massive achievement. You should be incredibly proud. So let's dive right in.
It really is a big moment. And what we want to do with this deep dive is sort of give you a shortcut, help you navigate this really exciting journey, which, let's be honest, can feel a bit daunting sometimes. The UK, it's known everywhere for its world-class education, right? And its rich history, culture, innovation in so many fields. You've got some of the world's absolute best universities there, top academics, industry professionals, people changing the world, entrepreneurs. You're not just, moving countries. You're actually joining this really vibrant global student community. Just to give you an idea, last year alone, over 174,000 students came from South Asia. That's nearly 40% of all the international student visas. So that really shows you what a diverse and welcoming place it is.
That really sets the scene perfectly. And our mission today, basically, is to boil down all the crucial info, the practical advice, from tons of sources we've looked at, all tailored just for you. We've got insights from UK visas and immigration experts, UKVI university people, and even alumni who've been exactly where you are now. We're covering, well, pretty much everything: travel tips, visa stuff, settling into uni life, and how to really squeeze every drop out of the experience during your studies and afterwards too. Think of this as your complete guide. Make sure your transition is smooth and you absolutely maximize your time in the UK. Right then, let's move beyond just the usual postcard pictures of the UK. Loads of students arrive with certain ideas, but our sources give some really interesting takes on what the country's really like. For example, you might know the official name, a bit of a mouthful: the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, made up of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Capitals: London, Edinburgh, Belfast, Cardiff. Okay. And the money, of course, is the pound, or the Great British Pound, GBP.
Yeah, but what's really key for you as international students, I think, is the UK's whole vibe, its cultural feel. It's a very tolerant country. All ways of life are genuinely respected. And its history of multiculturalism, it goes back hundreds of years, which means you'll find well-established communities, support for all religious and cultural needs, usually right there on campus. And something that really jumped out from the research, 34% of academic staff in the UK, they're from overseas. That's not just a statistic, right? It means you get these amazing global connections, a really diverse learning environment, different viewpoints right there in your lectures and seminars.
So what does that actually mean for you day to day? It means you're stepping into this truly global place, ready to embrace diversity. You'll be meeting people from literally all over the world, not just, folks from your hometown. It's a chance to really broaden your horizons, from day one.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk practical prep. Our sources really, really hammer this home. Read all the information your university sends you. Properly read it. Pay super close attention to deadlines, things like accommodation, meet and greet services if they offer them, orientation briefings, emergency numbers. Your university is your first port of call, always. And they give you a huge amount of support right from the start.
Yeah, it's not just about ticking boxes, is it? It's understanding why this stuff is so vital. So here's a quick rundown. Absolute must-haves before you even think about getting on that plane. Make sure you've got your e-visa sorted, and your passport, obviously. Your flight booked. Accommodation arranged before you go. Travel insurance. Medical insurance, especially if you're there for less than 6 months. And if it applies to you, a tuberculosis report. Oh, and don't forget your offer letter. That's the Confirmation of Acceptance for Studies, the CAS. And have a contact phone number and email for your uni handy. This stuff isn't just red tape, it's your safety net.
Exactly. And building on that, travel and packing. You need to think a bit strategically. Avoid those common slip-ups. Travel insurance, absolutely essential. Covers you for medical emergencies, lost bags, flight delays, cancellations. Gives you that peace of mind. Medical insurance, okay, if you're staying over 6 months, you pay that immigration health surcharge with your visa rate. That gets you free treatment on the NHS, the National Health Service. But if your course is less than 6 months, you need separate medical insurance. And just a heads up, specialist things like dental checks or eye tests, usually not covered by the NHS. Packing. UK weather is famously changeable. You've got autumn, September to November, winter, December to February, spring, March to May, summer, June to August. Pack clothes for different seasons? Sure, but our experts, they pretty much all say, don't buy a massive heavy winter coat before you go. Seriously, it saves so much luggage space, and you can easily find good, reasonably priced ones once you're in the UK. Now, your carry-on bag. This is for the crucial stuff. Passport, e-visa confirmation, your CAS, accommodation details, medical insurance info, any bank drafts. Smart move. Save digital copies of everything important. Email them to yourself or put them in cloud storage, like Dropbox or Google Drive. Have some UK cash for when you first land, enough for immediate needs. Or plan to use an ATM at the airport. And what not to pack. Big list here. Obvious things like illegal drugs, weapons, offensive materials, pepper spray is a no-no, counterfeit goods, and then there are food restrictions. Basically, no meat or meat products, no milk or dairy products, no potatoes. Most fresh fruit and veg are restricted too, same for egg products, fish, and fish products. Check the official list before you pack any food.
Wow, okay, that's quite the list of things to leave behind. So I guess that means my mom's homemade mango pickle is out.
Probably best to stick to the UK supermarkets for those cravings. It's really just about being prepared, you know. Avoid any last-minute panic or getting things confiscated at the border. And speaking of crucial updates and avoiding hassle, let's talk about the e-visa. This is a big one. Right. So effective July 15th, that's this month, all successful main applicants for the study route, you'll be getting an e-visa. What this means is you won't get that physical visa sticker, the vignette, in your passport anymore. It's now a completely digital record of your permission to be in the UK.
Okay, that sounds super convenient, definitely more modern. But for listeners who are, used to having that physical stamp, what's the biggest mental adjustment? Are there any tricky bits in the digital process that people tend to get tripped up on initially?
Good question. The main shift is just getting your head around the fact that your immigration status is online, linked to your passport, not stuck inside it. So once your visa is approved, you'll get an email from UKVI, that's UK Visas and Immigration. First step, create your UKVI account online, simple enough. Then you need to verify your ID. You do this using the UK Immigration ID Check app. You'll need a smartphone or maybe a laptop with a camera for this. And finally, you link your shiny new e-visa to that account you created. The whole thing is designed to be pretty user-friendly, and importantly, there's no fee for creating the account or linking the e-visa. But, and this is crucial, you must do all this before you travel to the UK. Don't leave it till the last minute. Oh, and just to clarify, dependents, like spouses or children coming with you, they will still get a physical vignette sticker in their passport for now. And another related point for main applicants, because you don't need the sticker, your passport is usually returned to you the same day you submit it at the Visa Application Center, which is faster than before.
That's actually really helpful, the sharing part. So once you've got your e-visa set up, you can easily show proof of your right to be there. Like for landlords or employers, that must cut down on a lot of photocopying and hassle.
Exactly. It allows you to securely share your status online when needed. Just a few quick tips on the application itself, based on common mistakes we hear about. Always attach all the documents they ask for. Don't forget anything. And if your documents aren't in English, you need official translations. Make sure they're properly certified. Apply as early as you can once you have your CAS. Things get really busy, especially in the summer. Double, triple check all the details on your CAS document and on your visa application before you submit. Names, dates, course details, everything must match perfectly. And be honest, declare all your previous travel history. And crucially, any previous visa refusals for any country. Hiding things is a very bad idea.
Definitely. And just a quick word of warning too, be really careful about visa scams and fraud. Always deal with authorized agents if you use one. Don't just trust anyone online. And remember, those premium services some places offer, they are not mandatory. They don't guarantee a fast or successful decision. Don't pay for them unless you absolutely want to and understand what you're getting. Your visa is just too important.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk money. Finances. You need to prove you have enough money to support yourself while you study, the living costs part. The official figures are 1,483 rupees per month for up to 9 months if your university is in London. That works out to roughly £12,000 in total. If your uni is outside London, it's £11,136 per month for up to 9 months, so about £9,200 total. And remember, this money is separate from your tuition fees. This is just for living expenses.
Right, those figures are very specific. What are some of the common traps students fall into when they're trying to show they have these funds? Like, are there types of proof people often forget they can use, or maybe common mistakes with that 28-day rule people keep mentioning?
Great points. So you can prove you have the money in a few main ways. First, a savings account. That can be in your name, or your parents' names, or a legal guardian's name. But, and this is the bit people get wrong, the money needs to follow the 28-day rule. This means the total amount required must have been in the account without dipping below that amount for 28 consecutive days before the date you submit your visa application online. It shows the money is genuinely yours and available, not just borrowed for a week to look good on paper. That's the trap to avoid large sums appearing just before applying. Second way is a student loan. That's acceptable proof if the only condition for the money being released is getting your visa clearance. Third, official proof of financial sponsorship, like a scholarship or a government grant. You'll need the official letter, of course. Fixed deposits. Yes, usually acceptable because they're stable and generally accessible within a reasonable time. But things like long-term investments, provident funds like EPF, pension schemes, stocks, and shares, those are generally not accepted. UKVI needs to see funds that are liquid, readily available cash for your living costs, not tied up in fluctuating investments. And one last point on loans, your loan letter doesn't have to state the amount in GBP. If it's in your local currency, UKVI will use the official exchange rate on the date of application to convert it. So don't worry about that bit. Alumni Insight, cash. Honestly, about money when you arrive, don't carry loads of cash. Seriously, Alumni Insight cash, pretty much everywhere across the UK you'll be using your card. Contactless payment is huge. Tap and go. Alumni Insight cash. A lot of places, especially smaller shops or cafes, might not even accept cash anymore. It's all card or phone payments. Alumni Insight Sofia, and opening a UK bank account is actually really easy once you get there. Alumni Insight Sofia, I opened mine with HSBC. It took maybe 20 minutes in the branch once I had my documents. Alumni Insight in Sofia. Some banks now, like the app-based ones, Monzo or Starling, you can practically do it all online once you have your UK address and phone number sorted. So no massive rush to do it before you fly.
That's really good to know. It takes a bit of the pressure off, doesn't it? Knowing that part is straightforward once you land. Oh, and once you are there and set up, definitely look into student discounts. There's the NUS card, National Union of Students, or the ISIC card, the International Student Identity card. They can get you loads of discounts on shopping, eating out, travel, cinema tickets, all sorts. Worth checking out.
Okay, so those first few days and weeks in the UK, what happens when you land? Well, the good news is universities provide a lot of support to help you settle in. Don't feel like you're on your own. Many offer things like airport pickup services, which can be great after a long flight. They have dedicated mental health and well-being support. Food and grocery deliveries might even be arranged for arrival, especially if you're in university halls. And there's usually a whole range of induction activities, Welcome Week, Freshers Week, whatever they call it, designed specifically to help you find your feet and meet people. Alumni Insight, getting a UK SIM card for your phone. Super simple. Alumni Insight. You can literally walk into any big supermarket, Aldi, Tesco, Sainsbury's, pick up the Tay-Park. Pay as you go SIM pack off the shelf. Pay for it at the till. Alumni Insight. Then just follow the instructions to register your details, pop it in your phone, and you're good to go. Takes minutes. Alumni Insight. Some student accommodation places even give you one in your welcome pack. Alumni Insight, see you upon accommodation, my strongest advice. Do not arrive in the UK without having somewhere booked to stay, even if it's temporary. Alumni Insight, see you upon. Trying to sort it out after you land can cause delays with everything else, like opening a bank account, which needs proof of address. Alumni Insight, see you upon. Plus, finding decent, affordable places during the peak student arrival time, like August or September, it's really difficult and can be super expensive. Alumni Insight, see you upon. Honestly, just for your own sanity and peace of mind, you need to know where you're going to be living when you start your studies. Alumni Insight, driving. If you have a driving license from back home, say India, for example, and it's the newer plastic card type with your photo and biometrics, Alumni Insight, that's usually considered valid to drive in the UK for the first 12 months you're resident. Alumni Insight, After that first year, though, you'll need to apply for a provisional UK license and eventually take the UK driving tests if you want to keep driving. Getting the provisional license usually takes about 3 or 4 weeks. Alumni Insight, But just a warning, driving rules in the UK, they're super strict, especially about lanes, speed limits, roundabouts, everything. It's very different from driving in many parts of South Asia, so be careful if you do decide to drive. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Registering with a doctor, a GP, general practitioner, that's really essential. Do it soon after you arrive and register your university address. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Lots of universities have a health center right there on campus, or one very nearby that students can register with. Makes it easy. Alumni Insight. Just a note on prescriptions. In Scotland, they're free for everyone. In England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, there's usually a charge per item, currently about £9.90 in England, unless you qualify for an exemption, like having certain long-term health conditions. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Oh, and definitely download the NHS app onto your phone. It's great. You can use it to book appointments, order repeat prescriptions, view your health records. Super helpful. List all your local GPs and pharmacies, too.
So, beyond these practical steps, the logistics, what about the more personal side of things? Making the UK actually feel like home. Are there resources or maybe ways of coping with homesickness that students sometimes overlook? Things that aren't always obvious.
That's such an important point, because settling in isn't just about finding your lecture halls. Your well-being is absolutely key. And UK universities really do prioritize this. They offer what's called holistic support. So you'll have student welfare services, maybe personal tutors you can talk to, dedicated international student support offices. Use them. They're there for you. And outside the uni, there are fantastic organizations too, like Student Minds. They're a charity specifically for student mental health. UKVI, that's the UK Council for International Student Affairs, loads of info on their website. And the Samaritans offer a free, confidential listening service 24/7 if you just need to talk to someone. The number's easy to find. So many students focus just on the academics. They kind of forget these support systems exist until they maybe hit a tough patch. Don't wait, know where to turn before you need it.
That's really good advice. And just a quick reminder about safety as well. Generally, the UK is a very safe country. Crime levels are relatively low, especially violent crime. But, like anywhere in the world, you need to be aware of your surroundings. Be sensible. Definitely attend any orientation sessions your uni runs on personal safety and local advice. And know the key emergency numbers. It's 999 for any emergency, police, fire, ambulance. For non-urgent police matters, it's 101. And for medical advice, when it's not a 999 emergency, you can call NHS 111. Oh, and always have your home country's embassy contact number saved somewhere easily accessible, just in case.
Definitely. And finally, on this settling in point, the UK is incredibly diverse. People from all backgrounds live, work, and study there. So it's really important to respect everyone, all different cultures and beliefs. And just as importantly, follow the local rules and the national laws. Things might be different from back home. If you don't follow the rules, anything from littering to more serious things, you could face a fine. Or, in really serious cases involving breaking the law, it could even impact your student visa, potentially lead to it being canceled. It's all part of being a responsible member of the community in your new home.
Okay, so once you're settled with the basics, accommodation, bank account, GP, what about actually living life in the UK beyond the books? What are some of the maybe hidden gems or opportunities people sometimes miss for making the most of their time there?
Oh, there are just endless opportunities for culture and leisure. It's definitely not all about studying. On campus itself, get involved. Join clubs and societies. Our sources mentioned all sorts seriously, things like cheese appreciation clubs or even Taylor Swift fan clubs, plus all the usual sports, music groups, drama, debating. And look out for cultural celebrations organized by student groups: Diwali, Eid, Lunar New Year. Great ways to connect. These are your instant communities, really. Then off campus. Wow! The UK has so many amazing free museums and art galleries, especially in the big cities. London's are world famous, obviously. There's theater everywhere, from huge West End shows to tiny local productions. Music festivals, Glastonbury is the big one, but there are hundreds of others. Cinemas, live music venues, sports events, football, rugby, cricket. It's all there. And food. People sometimes worry they won't find food from home, but honestly, you'll likely get every kind of food you can imagine. There are specialist shops for ingredients, kosher or halal butchers, loads of vegetarian and vegan options everywhere now. Supermarkets are great: Asda, Iceland, Tesco, Waitrose, Sainsbury's. You'll find your favorites. And food delivery apps like Deliveroo, Just Eat, Uber Eats are huge, very convenient. Oh, and a fun little practical tip: pretty much everywhere in the UK you can drink the tap water. It's safe, saves you buying bottled water all the time. Alumni insight. My big tip. Honestly, travel as much as you can while you're there. Alumni insight, Aaron. The UK is such a beautiful country, but it's also incredibly diverse. Scotland is so different from Cornwall, Wales from the Lake District. Alumni insight, Marin. Each part has its own character, its own natural beauty, so get out there on weekends, during holidays, explore. Involve yourself in different communities outside your uni town. Alumni insight, Kenneth. And I'd really suggest looking into volunteering. Find local community groups or charities doing work you care about. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. It's a fantastic way to gain practical experience, meet local people outside the student bubble, and really integrate. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Plus, it looks great on your CV and can sometimes even open doors to paid work later on. Shows real initiative. That links perfectly to career support, actually. Because UK universities put a big emphasis on employability. You'll have access to dedicated career advisors who can help with CVs, interviews, applications. They run regular jobs and career fairs, bringing employers right onto campus. And a really key point about UK education, often your professors and lecturers are not just academics, they're also leaders in their industry. They have real-world connections. Talk to them, and definitely make the most of any work placements, internships, or voluntary work opportunities that are offered as part of your course or that the careers service promotes. These aren't just optional extras, they're crucial for getting that practical edge and building your network.
Right. What about just getting a part-time job while you study to help with living costs? International students can usually work up to 20 hours a week during term time, right? What's the best way to actually find those jobs? Especially if you're hoping for something maybe a bit relevant to your field. Alumni Insight, Marin. For general part-time work, yeah, definitely check the big job websites like Indeed, Glassdoor, reed.co.uk, even jobs.ac.uk sometimes lists support roles. Alumni Insight, Marin. You know, standard student jobs working at shops, cafes, restaurants, bars, they're pretty common, especially in bigger towns and cities. Alumni Insight, Marin. Good way to earn a bit of money and improve your English too, meet different people. Alumni Insight, Akash. But also, check inside the university first. Many unis have their own internal job portals. Alumni Insight, Akash. They often list jobs on campus, library assistants, student ambassador roles, things like that. Alumni Insight, Akash. And sometimes they have specific portals where they connect with local businesses looking for interns or part-time help, often related to particular courses. Alumni Insight, Akash. And definitely network. Talk to your professors. Go to departmental events. Connect with local businesses if you can. Opportunities often come for people you know. You just never know where a chat might lead. Alumni Insight, COPAN. And don't underestimate the value of getting involved in student societies and clubs again here. Alumni Insight, COPAN. Most societies have committees, president, treasurer, secretary, events officer. Taking on one of those roles, it gives you brilliant practical skills. Alumni Insight, COPAN. Things like managing budgets, negotiating with suppliers, organizing events, leading a team, those are absolute transferable skills that employers love. Looks fantastic on your CV. Alumni Insight, COPAN. Sometimes that kind of experience can actually be more valuable for your long-term career than, say, just a basic retail job. Alumni Insight, Akash. Good point. And I'd say start thinking about your career planning relatively soon after you arrive. Don't leave it till your final year. Alumni Insight, Akash. Use the University Career Service early. They can help with things like aptitude tests to figure out your strengths, practice interviews, assessment center simulations, all that stuff. Alumni Insight, Akash. But also keep perspective. Remember why you're there. No part-time job, however good the money is worth sacrificing your studies for or risking your degree. Getting that balance right is crucial.
Absolutely. And ultimately, that UK degree you're working towards, it's globally recognized, it holds massive currency around the world, it makes you highly employable, whether you decide to stay in the UK after graduation, go back home, or move somewhere else entirely. And speaking of staying on, let's quickly touch on the graduate route visa. This is a really fantastic opportunity. Currently, it allows international students who've successfully completed their degree to stay in the UK and work, or look for work, for 2 years afterwards, or even 3 years if you've completed a PhD or another doctoral qualification. Now, there has been some discussion recently about potentially reducing the length, maybe to 18 months. But as of right now, the government has confirmed it remains at 2 years for bachelor's and master's graduates. It's a really valuable pathway designed to help you kickstart your professional career with UK work experience.
That's a huge advantage. Definitely something for students to keep in mind. But if we sort of connect this back to the core reason people are going for it, the academics themselves, how does the actual teaching and assessment style in the UK maybe differ from what many international students are used to? What's the key to, really thriving academically there? Alumni Insight. Kenneth, yeah, it could be quite different. It's much more about self-driven study, I found. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Your lecturers and tutors are there to guide you, point you in the right direction, facilitate discussions, but they don't generally spoon-feed you information in the way you might expect back home. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. There's a big emphasis on independent reading, lots of it. Plus group work projects, presentations, writing critical essays, and really developing your own arguments. Alumni Insight, Akash. Yeah, I agree. It was definitely a bit of a culture shock for me at first. You're expected to be much more proactive, manage your own time, do your own research. Alumni Insight, Akash. But honestly, you learn so much from that process. You learn how to think critically, how to be self-motivated, how to analyze information yourself. Alumni Insight, Akash. And you can actually apply all those skills directly once you get into the job market. You're just more independent and driven, which employers really value. Alumni Insight, COPAN. Absolutely. And while the style might be different, it's worth saying that South Asian students consistently do brilliantly in the UK system. Alumni Insight, COPAN. My academic colleagues always give such positive feedback about how engaged, hardworking, and insightful their students from the region are. You absolutely thrive. Alumni Insight. Siobhan. My little piece of practical advice for excelling academically might sound really small, but honestly, check the footnotes and bibliographies on your reading list. Alumni Insight. Siobhan. Don't just read the main texts. Follow those references. That's where you find the deeper debates, the niche perspectives. That's how you really get those top marks and show genuine engagement with your subject. Wow, that's a great insider tip. Check the footnotes. Okay, we've covered so much ground today. From the nitty-gritty of e-visas and finance, right through to settling in, campus life, and thinking about your future career. It really brings to mind that advice from Kate Joyce we heard earlier. Get out there, be open to making new friends, say yes to opportunities, even if they feel a bit scary. And, dream big about what you can achieve. Alumni Insight. Sophia. My one golden tip. Focus on building your community right from the start. Alumni Insight, Sophia. Really make an effort to go to those orientation events, the welcome week activities, the mixers in your accommodation. That's where you'll meet people who become your support network. Don't hide away in your room. Alumni Insight, Marin. And mine is travel. Explore the UK as much as you possibly can. Alumni Insight, Marin. It's such a diverse and beautiful country. See the cities, see the countryside, experience different regions. It really enriches your whole experience. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. My tip is for coping with homesickness, especially if it's your first time living away. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Bring at least one small item from home that you hold dear. Could be a photo, a small keepsake, anything. Alumni Insight, Kenneth. Having that little physical connection to home can provide real comfort when you're feeling a bit lost or lonely. Alumni Insight, Akash. And my final tip is about balance. Work hard, absolutely. Study your best. Get that degree. Alumni Insight, Akash. But don't just study. Enjoy the whole experience. Challenge yourself outside of academics. Try a new hobby. Join that weird society. Travel somewhere unexpected. Alumni Insight, Akash. It's all part of the journey, making those memories. Find your balance.
That's beautifully put. And perhaps a final thought to leave you all with. As you embark on this incredible deep dive into a completely new chapter of your life, remember this. Yes, you're going to the UK to learn, to get that qualification. But maybe, just maybe, your most profound, life-changing education won't come just from the lectures and textbooks. It might actually come from the networks you build, the different cultures you genuinely embrace, the challenges you overcome, and the personal growth you experience along the way. So maybe the important question to ask yourself is, how will you leverage every single opportunity, academic, social, cultural, to transform not just your CV, but your entire perspective on the world and yourself?
That is a powerful thought to end on. A really fantastic question to carry with you on your journey. We really hope this deep dive has given you valuable insights and practical tips to help you prepare. And remember, once you finish your studies, you can stay connected through the Global Alumni UK Network. Keep those connections going. From both of us, we wish you the absolute very best for your exciting adventure in the UK.